Hi, everybody. I wanted to give you. I actually went through this book and skimmed it the other day. It's by Napoleon Hill. It's called The Road to Success. It's putting the principles of the book Think and Grow Rich into action. So, Napoleon Hill, as you know, he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, which is a classic book. He says putting those principles that he taught you in that book to action. So each chapter is dedicated to each something different. So chapter one was called Desire. So basically, it talks about decide what you want, decide what your definite aim is, and go after it. Write it down, and then repeat it to yourself over and over again. So number one is desire. Chapter two, self confidence. You must believe in yourself. In order to expect and have others expect success of you, you must expect success of yourself. So you must portray what you want others to believe. You must have self-confidence. Chapter 3, initiative. He says initiative is doing those things that you know you ought to do without anyone having to tell you to do it. Initiative. Chapter 4, imagination. The ability to make new plans out of old ideas. So it's hard to really create something brand new, basically, is what he's saying. But you have to have the ability to create new plans out of things that are already created. Chapter 5, enthusiasm. He says that people like enthusiastic and cheerful people. He says that enthusiasm can be catchy. So chapter 5 was enthusiasm. Chapter 6, action. He talks a lot about bees in the chapter. He talks about how they're constantly busy, they're patient, but if you watch them, they're constantly busy. And they also have the unselfish community attitude. So action, constantly busy. Chapter 7, self-control. Learn to exercise control over yourself. He talks about the mastery of the golden rule. He talks about remaining cool, remaining calm, the ability to develop that ability. Chapter 8, do more work than you're paid for. So, don't just skimp on the work that you do. Do more work than you're paid for. Even right now, you might not be being paid for it, but eventually you will be paid. You will be paid for it, either by money or by position. Don't run out the door. Don't run out the door when the bell rings, or whatever. Just do more work than you put more work in that day than you're paid to put in, without worrying about if you're getting paid for it right now, because eventually you will. Chapter 9, attractive. He talked about in that chapter, once again, doing all the work that can help you to without regard to pay. He talked about building your attractiveness. That could be dress, that could be your appearance, that could be your vocabulary, that could be your smile. Just build your attractiveness. You become more attractive. Chapter 10, accurate thought. He says that we must work to develop and master our own thoughts. Our most powerful thing that we possess, in his opinion, is our mind, and we must learn to master our mind and our thoughts. Accurate thought. Chapter 11, concentration. Learn to focus your thoughts. Learn to focus your thoughts. Not have thoughts all over the place. We need to learn how to focus on something, a specific thing that we want to focus on. Concentration. Chapter 12 is persistence. Basically, he says in that chapter, persistence means not only to start something, but having the ability to finish what you start. Having the ability to finish what you start. Chapter 13, learning from failure. We're all going to fail. We're going to have failures. We must use failure as a platform to get back up, learn, and restart and readjust our course. Use failure as a learning tool, not as something that's going to destroy you or put you out of commission. Chapter 14, tolerance. We must develop, he says in the chapter, one of the things he says, we must develop a passion for helping those who may be weaker than we are. Tolerance. Having an open mind to things and people that might be different than we are. And chapter 15, the golden rule. We must learn to live and always remember to include the golden rule in the ways that we deal with others and the way we deal with situations. So that, once again, that was just a quick review. I went through and skimmed the book. I did not read the whole book. I read like the first 2 pages of each chapter and the last page. And I went, as I was going through the chapters, I kind of just underlined a few things through the chapters. I skimmed through the book. That's Napoleon Hill. The book is called Road to Success. This is putting the principles of Think and Grow Rich into action. Peace. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed.